Hello, welcome back to Practice Insider's Edge. My name is Dr. Derek Barron.
And I'm Terry Barron.
Thanks for joining us again today. Today we want to talk to you about the importance of having a social media presence for your practice and especially for your community. It's one of our foundational elements for the practice that we've been speaking with in this video series that we went along. So I really want to cover, why is it that it's important that you have a social media presence in your practice these days? And simply stated, number one, it shows that you're relevant and modern. You're not going to find too many practices in your community or too many practices across the United States and the world for that matter that aren't really utilizing social media. And there's a reason for that. I want to talk about the numbers of use in just a second as essentially point three. But the second reason, besides just being relevant and modern, is it's part of your prospect's path in researching you. What I mean by that is your prospects are following a process, and it really goes along with what we've done so far in kind of unpacking the practice leverage method, specifically the practice foundation. Right. And that means when somebody's really looking for you, they're going to first try and search you online on Google. If they find you, fantastic. Then the next step they look at is, do you have more reviews than your competition? The next component that they go to is they look at your website. Do you have a good looking website? Is it mobile optimized? Does it have the ability to communicate back and forth with them like a little chat bubble on your site? And then finally, they're going to look at your social media. And if they go there and everything else looks great and you haven't posted since the beginning of 2020, there's a problem. They're not going to trust you. So it's something that you really have to work on in your practice. And it's critical if you want to start winning and beating some of your competition. So then the third point I want to discuss is that you need to be where your prospects and patients are. And the statistics are really showing that more and more people are on social media. So there's a company out there, Statista.com, you can go to. They rated from 2017 up until forecasting into 2025, the amount of people that are on social media. And in 2017, there were 2.86 billion people on social media platforms. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
In 2020, it jumped up to 3.6 billion people, and they're projecting by 2025, 4.4 billion people. And that's why it's important for you to be where they are. They're sitting at home on their phone, on their tablet, or on their computer, and they're scrolling through trying to find some information. And if they find you, it's important that you have a good presence. So now let's kind of talk about the next thing, that if you do have a good social media presence, how it can be beneficial for your practice. So again, the prospects that are searching you out will see that you're keeping up with the times and you've got great content. And that content can be what we call educational social marketing. So it leads into what is it that you can do to educate your patients and or prospects from a social media channel. And that can be, simply ask your patients when they come in the door, what would you like to see next in a video that we do? Or, what are some ideas that you would like to have us discuss when it comes to pelvic floor issues or shoulder issues or cervicogenic headaches? Ask your patients for what you want for content from a social media standpoint. And the third point on that once you build a great foundation for your practice from a social media, you are actually going to be on the train of that 4 billion people, because if you're not, the person across the street that has a practice very similar to yours is the one that's going to be taking your patients away, because they want to go to somebody that appears to be relevant. It doesn't matter how many letters you have behind your name. They want somebody that they can trust. And if they see them on social media, unfortunately, that's what they believe they can do, is trust that person. So it's important to do that. So Terry, kind of take us home here a little bit. So Sure. Once we do that, how can they start to get a social media presence?
Absolutely. So our recommendation to our clients when they recognize that they need to improve their social media presence is that you choose the platform that you like and that you're comfortable with, right? So the three top ones that people consider are Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Probably not in any particular order. Really, it's up to you and what you feel familiar with and what you're comfortable with. And maybe, again, like Derek said, ask your patients where they're searching you out or where they like to go in terms of their social media information, and start with that if you're not comfortable or you're not familiar with any one of those three.
Yeah. And one real quick point about that is, on all three of those platforms, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, the beauty of them is they are very video friendly. Of course, YouTube is, but Instagram and Facebook. And the benefit of that is if you cut a video like you see us doing here, If you want, you can scrape out the audio and put it up as a podcast. You can scrape out the text and use it as a blog post. So if you do video, it'll actually do a lot more for you than just literally putting up a post on your YouTube channel.
Absolutely. So once you've picked your platform, right, and you want to improve that social media presence for your practice, pick a topic that you like. Consider who your perfect avatar patient might be. Maybe it's moms to start with. Maybe it's sports in particular. Maybe it's supplements. Doesn't matter. It's what's important to you, what you feel comfortable with in terms of how you can educate and inform the perfect client that you're trying to draw into your practice. And then the third point to improving that social media presence for you is simply start writing or designing some posts. And don't forget, as Derek's alluded to, make sure you start shooting some videos for some of your posts as well. That's a really big deal when you want to improve your social media presence, right?
No, I would agree, 100%.
Excellent. So there's a few ideas on how to improve that social media presence that you want for your practice. So let's give you some action steps. First and most important is really be consistent with what you're doing. Just doing very sporadic, like Derek said, maybe a patient is searching you out and they see your last post was in 2020, maybe there were 2 or 3, and then it was 2018 was the next post. Okay, obviously no consistency there. So definitely you need to set up a calendar, a plan, be consistent with how you're going to do your posts.
Yeah. And one quick thing about that, as far as being consistent, it works in the algorithms of social media. The more consistent you are with posting content, the more consistent Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube are going to be about applying your content in front of your followers. So that's why consistency is great for people checking you out, but it's also great to continue to keep you in front of those people.
Exactly. So then use something simple to start to create those posts. We offer to our clients to check out Canva, and Canva is canva.com. It's a site that you can get a free, no-cost platform, and it's a graphic design site basically to help you be creative and design some of those posts and fit them to the sizes that you need, which is a lot bigger dive that we're not going to go into, but Canva will guide you. So that's a great place to go to start to create some templates so that you don't have to create something new every time you're going to post. Design some templates there and you can go from there. And then our third suggestion to take some action is to make sure when you're creating your posts and putting them up, that you mix it up between doing a text post, an image post, and a video post. So mix and match and just be consistent with that you are posting, but mix and match how you're posting and what kind of post you're doing.
Yeah, great points.
So that brings it home. So we just want to remind you that at Practice Insider's Edge, we're always welcoming your thoughts and comments on any of our videos. So if you found this useful and or you have any additional information, please put it in the comments below for us. We really appreciate that.
And as we always say, if you are a private practice healthcare business owner and you need help with your social media presence and you're seeing this one of our social channels, just comment the word social below. We'll reach out to you, maybe set up a conversation to see what we can do. If you're watching this on the landing page, just below this, you'll actually see a form that you can fill out, answer a couple of questions, and it'll actually help us kind of detail what we do once we get on one of those calls. So it's important. So we just want to, we're always trying to do our best to spread some information. And if we can help you in any way, make sure that you can.
So remember, at Practice Insider's Edge, we're here to help you grow and scale your practice and achieve success on so many levels.